channel. If you are new here, my name is Rauha and I'm from a beautiful country called Namibia. Today's video is basically just going to be me expressing myself, and this video might be painful or hurtful to some people, but this is my reality and this is my experience and what I saw and what I witnessed. And perhaps let me just start with the fact that I am from Namibia. Namibia is a country that only has 2.5 million people. Very huge land size, but we are very few people. Meaning that it is very probable that you will go to a city and there's just 20,000 people or 10,000 people, if not less or more. Right, so that should be kept in mind in this video. So I have to say that as a Namibian, right, as a Namibian, not as someone who has who is American or someone who is Singaporean or Korean, whatever the case, as a Namibian, this is my opinion and this was my experience in Europe so far. Guys, I am literally in shock. I've been in shock and I'm still in shock, and I think the shock still keeps coming back to me. I have never in my entire life seen this, and somehow I blame myself because I'm the kind of traveler who does not really do a lot of research. Like, I try not to do too much research before I go to a country, and it's because I want to get to a country and really experience the country sort of firsthand. So usually when I get to a country, that's when my actual planning really begins. Like, okay, so this is where I'm gonna go, and if I do meet people along the way who tell me about the country, I look into the advice and recommendations and all of that, but I never really quite do an in-depth study on a country before I go there. So I have heard that Europe has a lot of drugs, okay, and in my mind, obviously, I'm like, okay, I mean, drugs technically are everywhere, you know. I'm sure there are people who, for example, take marijuana in this country, in that country, and whatever the case, yeah. And so I got to Norway, right, and I was actually told that, oh, you know, Norway has a drug problem. Now, to be fair, when I was in Norway, I did not see that. I did not see that. I did not experience it. And I think it's because I was not in the nightlife and I was not in the capital. Because the person who told me this specifically said it's mostly common in Bergen and in Oslo. Oslo is the capital. Now, I was only in Oslo for, I think, 4 days or something, but I did not engage in the nightlife. I didn't go to clubs. I didn't go to places where probably a lot of people were. I was mostly in my room, right? I didn't actually do much aside from going to city center and just walking around, and that was like in the afternoon. Okay, I've been to Bergen, but again, I was sightseeing. I didn't actually see it or even notice it, right? And then I went to Germany. For the most part, yeah, I was not really in the nightlife either. And I have to say that aside from probably one person, right, that I suspected was taking it, and I'll tell you guys that in another video, yeah, there was no one else. Obviously, I could see like people drink a lot there, people drink a lot in Namibia even, so yeah, people do drink a lot, they drink beer a lot, blah 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 blah, but I didn't notice like junkies and all of that. From Germany, I went to Austria. Now, this is where I think reality kicked in and culture shock came in, right? Austria is, I was in Vienna, right, to be specific. Very beautiful city, very beautiful. I can't even express in words how beautiful it is. I was stunned left, right, and left. However, the amount of drug addicts walking around freely was shocked. As a Namibian, this is not normal for us. And I was actually shocked. I was shocked that they actually walk around freely in their state of being super high. It's almost as if there's zombies around you. And it's so weird because sometimes you see it right in city center. And I remember like getting off the train and I was supposed to walk for like I think 3 minutes back to my hostel. There were drug addicts everywhere, just lying around, acting weird. And I was like, whoa, guys, this is shocking. And I'm gonna say something, yeah. I have obviously taken videos just to show my close friends and my relatives because I want my relatives to obviously see what I'm saying. But I tried not to take too many videos because I just think like it's not okay and it's not their, well, you could argue all day whose fault it is, you know, but at the end of the day I still feel really bad at the images that I saw of people. And the one time I was like in the train station and I was about to buy a ticket. Now mind you, this ticket ended up costing me. This guy, as I was like starting to press the machine, he was walking right into me. And when I lifted my head, right, I could tell like he was high. And he was like in zombie mode. And his mouth was bleeding, his nose was bleeding. And I literally ran. And then I ran downstairs and I catch the train, right? And I didn't even have a ticket. And guess what? Because I didn't have a ticket and I was like, should I go back up or should I not? And I obviously didn't. I just got on the train and I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. And I ended up paying a fine of like 2,100 Namibian dollars because of that. And I have to say, I was so freaking scared when I saw him. And every time I hopped off the train to go to my hostel, I'm telling you, I saw the same thing day and night. And I've never seen this. And I don't think a Namibian who lives in Namibia has seen this. Probably in the movies, but you guys have not seen this. And that was in Austria, okay? I went to Slovakia after that. That was okay. I didn't see any of that. And I was in the capital, right? Bratislava. But I was only there for a day because when I was on my way to Slovakia, I found out like there were the athletics championships going on in Budapest in Hungary. So I was like, okay, I love sports and anyone who knows me knows that I love sports. So I immediately made a U-turn and I'm like, you know what, I'll spend a day in Slovakia because I don't think there's much to do anyway. I have my reasons as to why I decided on that because I just felt like coming from Austria to Slovakia was sort of like a downgrade. I should have probably gone to Slovakia first and then Austria, then I would have appreciated Slovakia more. But that's just me, right? We don't have to be the same. So I didn't see that in Slovakia, to be honest. Then I get to Budapest, right? The first day when I arrived, I had to go to the stadium to watch the 100 meters. That was amazing. And then the second day, that's when I was like free, yeah. And it was the same thing. It was the same thing. I don't know which was worse, Austria or Budapest. It has to be. I think I've seen more addicts in Austria than I have in Budapest. But like in Budapest, I think the only difference is like most of them have wounds and scars. And it's so sad. It's so sad. Like, I cannot even think of how this is remotely possible or like who can help them or how these people can get help. And how normal is it to be in that state in public, you know, especially in city center. Like in Budapest, I was living right in city center and you see this all the time. And it's like nobody is seeing it. People are just going about their day. Now, of course, probably the question is, what should be done? I don't know. What I do know is that if you look like that in my society and a cop came across you, they would deal with you. You would probably be arrested or something. Cause like, why are you taking drugs, and from where are you taking them? So it is. I believe it is an issue in my country to just be freely like that in public. You know. So for me, I think this has been the literal shock of my life, and I remember sharing it with my best friend, and he literally said that he's seen documentaries on it, but he's never really thought it's the reality after seeing the videos that I sent, and he would rather not see it. And to be honest, I think I was okay with just not seeing it. I was honestly okay with not seeing it, because I don't know, I feel sometimes I feel scared, you know, like just walking in, but you know, they don't do anything to you. Funny enough, they don't do anything to you, they don't harm you, they don't talk to you, they're just there, you know, like acting weird and stuff. And today, one of them, I think, was like literally about to die. They had to call the ambulance, and there were like a lot of paramedics around him and stuff, and then they had to take his shoes off, and I think they opened his t-shirt as well. And I was watching this, and I just felt like this is not okay. I don't know how other people feel about it, but like I said, this is my experience, and this is my experience as a Namibian, as someone from Namibia. I've never in my entire life seen this. It almost feels as if I'm just in a very beautiful city with very beautiful architecture and nature and everything, and then in every corner there's that dark side where they are just drug addicts lying around, homeless and hopeless. And I have to say, it's just the saddest thing I've ever seen. And this to me was a real culture shock. I'm not even gonna lie. There's just no way to candy coat it, because this is the reality that I saw in Austria, Vienna, and Budapest, Hungary. It is shocking for me, to say the least, and it's just a culture shock. I don't have the answer to it. I've never been in this kind of situation, but as a Namibian, I just have to say that this has been one of the things that has really scared me, and like really opened my eyes about Europe. Because like, I don't know, it's just like, this is the Europe that is barely spoken about. It's the Europe that you barely see on TV, you know. So I don't know, but this is what I saw, and this is what I experienced. I hope things will get better, and I just have to say, like, I'm shocked. That's all. I'm shocked, and I'm shocked, and I'm shocked. It's just a huge culture shock for me, and it's something that you just barely don't even hear about, but this is the reality, and you will come across these drug addicts every single day. I've never missed a day where I haven't seen them. I've never missed a day where I just haven't seen them. I haven't. So this was my actual experience, and I'm not gonna share videos and stuff because I just feel like it's not okay. And these people, obviously, they have families, maybe, or you know, but they're still human at the end of the day. So yeah, that's the end of my video. Just wanted to share my experience with you guys so far of what I've seen and what I've experienced, and what I was not expecting to see. Yeah. Okay.